so here we are with another Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, and this week we're going to do the Russell's 10-year. This one is a Kentucky Straight Bourbon, 90 proof, again from the local area. And we did it two ways again. We did it neat, and then we did it with ice. So neat, Ryan. Let's go ahead and just turn our board so everyone can see.
Here's my board.
Our board's here.
I don't know what your board says.
But just so you guys can see clearly what we've got, we're going to turn it around again towards the end so you can see it overall again, but we're going to turn it back around so we can talk those points. So you went and gave Smell a 5.
I did. So I was able to pick up on sweet vanilla-ish kind of spice that was enjoyable. But outside of that, I mean, it wasn't like I picked up a whole master plan of aromas and smells and things that just tickled the senses.
Yeah.
But it had a good smell to it. So I was happy with it. So I gave it a solid 5 on the neat line.
Yeah, I give it a 4. For me, it's just still. There's usually once they sit in the cask, as long as they do, you pick up a lot more of the oak. And for me, I'm not a giant fan of oak in general. I don't want that to be the most prominent taste, but that seems to be the most prominent taste for me on this one.
So taste, you went with a 4?
Yeah, I give it a 4.
So I gave it a 5, as you all saw.
And then taste, you also gave it a 5.
Yeah. Just as you, with you giving it a 4.
And I gave it a 4.
Yeah.
And again, same thing, like the taste for me, it was a little woody, right? I didn't get the aromas and the flavors, the full flavor that you would think you would get from it. I didn't get the caramel notes like I thought I was going to.
I got the vanilla, and I got the oakiness.
Mm-hmm.
The vanilla, from at least my taste buds, picked up the vanilla a lot.
Yeah.
And I could still taste the oakiness, but it's not so woody, I guess you would say, as to say like one of my bird dogs sitting back here on the shelf that you're like chewing bark on, was just one of your comments. So
right, yeah.
So for me, I gave it that 5, yeah.
And then share or nah. I just said share.
Yeah, so I think
you gave it a rate.
I gave it a rating, but I think I'm just going to go with share or not, and I would share it.
Okay.
It's shareable.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a shareable one. You know,
yeah.
I've seen this more commonly at bars.
Yep.
So I would assume since they have it at a bar, that most people are a fan of it.
Yes.
Or maybe they just use it as a mixer. I'm not sure.
Possibly.
But it was decent enough where I'd say, yeah, go ahead and share it. You know, I wouldn't be ashamed to pour somebody a glass of this.
Right. And then what did you have on drinkability for neat?
I gave it a 4 on neat. So everything from mine, from neat to ice, you're going to see that when it added the ice and it kind of simmered it down, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
But it also brought out some of the other flavor profiles for me once I put a cube in it. So for me, drinkability with the neat, I gave it a 4, where you gave it.
So drinkability neat, I gave it a 6.
Much higher than I gave it.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of comes down to, I guess I tolerate less flavored stuff better than you.
Yeah, I
and
would say.
And it's also, I think the drinkability for me is it's more of an accustomed thing within my price range, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So my palate's kind of like, I can tolerate this at this price, right?
If I were just looking to get shit canned, I would say sure, I would raise the drinkability scale up. But for me, based on everything that I've had, and probably the same price point, I'd say it's about a 4 for me. But that's just, price wise, I gave it a fair score of 7.
What'd you give it on drinkability for neat?
4 on neat. 6 for
6
on ice.
Or 6 on ice. So yours jumped up on ice.
It jumped up a lot on ice.
See, for me on ice, it barely went up any.
Yeah.
But it was more.
Because I could taste more when the water
hit
it versus it being neat.
Which is what I was looking forward to when I tried the neat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I can taste that vanilla. So I'm like, once I get this ice in here, and it kind of, a lot of times, especially with the vanilla flavor, the ice tends to, at least in my experience, draw that out more.
Yeah.
It didn't really amp it up anymore, and I'm like, I mean, I can taste it a little more, and it kind of killed out a little bit of the overly oaky taste.
Yeah.
So that's why I brought it up to a 7.
Okay. Makes sense. Like I said, price point though, I think it's pretty favorable, market wise.
Yeah.
For what you're getting for a 10-year,
$35 to $40.
Yeah.
Roughly.
So I mean, I give it 7 across the board, obviously,
Yeah.
because it's not going to matter whether it's neat or ice.
Right.
And you gave it an 8.
I gave it an 8. Right. Just simply price point.
Yeah, because you
Bang
got
for
to
buck,
figure
right?
like a Knob Creek 9-year.
Yeah.
And that are pretty close in price.
Yes.
And you're getting 1 extra year of it sitting in a cask. And I think that
I think
Knob
these have
Creek
gone up a
tastes.
little more. Now they're a little more 45-ish.
I'm more in favor of the Knob Creek than I
absolutely.
am of the Russells.
Agreed.
So I'm going to pay a little bit more just to have a better taste.
Right. Overall, I gave 6 on the neat and 6.5 on the ice.
And I did a 5 on the neat and a 6 overall for it being on ice. They're pretty close. There's not much variance, even on yours, whether it was neat or on ice.
Right.
There's not a whole lot of change, really.
Really, on yours, there wasn't much of a change until you got the drinkability.
The drinkability for me
Right.
changed a lot when I added the ice cube to it.
Cut out some of that oakiness.
I think that's all it did is it mellowed out the woody taste and allowed some of the other flavors to come through. But I mean, yeah, the ice cube helps it for sure. I think this would be one I would definitely do with ice all the time. I probably would never do this one just neat. That's just my personal. Whereas there's plenty of other bourbons that we've.
I could agree with that. I could definitely agree with that because that's one thing we've noticed a lot.
Yeah.
Is some bourbons are much more prone to on ice than others. You can drink just about any way you want to drink it.
Yeah. And I think that goes towards the price point on a lot of the times. Whereas some of them, there's only a couple that I know that you've gotten that were under $80, and they can be neat or on ice, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's very rare, and it's interesting on this bourbon journey. But
yeah, we're definitely learning a lot of new things with this stuff for sure.
For those of you that are curious to see the charts again, this is what we did. If you guys like these videos and you want to see more of them, let us know. If you have any suggestions of bourbons you want us to try, let us know. Because Ryan and I are open to trying new things when it comes to bourbons.
I'll even let you mail me a bottle of bourbon you want me to try.
Yeah, we're open to this.
As long as it arrives sealed.
We're also open to sponsorship. If anybody knows a distillery out there that is willing to do some sponsorship and, donate bottles of bourbon, and we'll give it an honest review. So until next time, keep drinking your favorite drink and get sauced.
Cheers.
Cheers.